Hello, Captains, and welcome to Star Trek Online News. I am your host, Brent Justice, and today we really only have one news piece to talk about since the last news update. The last news update was a lot about the summer event, so that's still going on. That's still the big thing. But since then, there's only really been one big news topic to talk about. Now, we've had the general Tholian red alerts, the general PC patch notes, a ring bundle, sale, bonus marks weekend, more notes, 20% ship sale, that kind of stuff going on. But the big news is we got a new Temporal Warship bundle, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So I've already opened up that news piece, and here it is. This was posted on July 16th, so this is fresh. Starting July 18th, which was yesterday as of this recording, 4 new ships are being made available on the C-Store. These new vessels will be available in both non-fleet and fleet variants, and additionally will be part of the first ever bundle with ships from 4 different factions. That's right, we're finally getting a bundle that incorporates the 4 factions. Well, 4 factions anyway. That is new, because typically Federation gets a lot of ships, and Romulans, as we know, and KDF are left out. Well, not this time, and in fact, the Jem'Hadar get to play too. Special introductory pricing discount from July 18th until July 22nd. You can get these ships for 2,400 Zen each when purchased individually, or in a bundle of all 4 ships, with a 50% off T6 ship coupon for the price of 6,400 Zen. Thereafter, they will return to their normal pricing of 3,000 Zen when purchased individually, or 8,000 Zen for the bundle. So you can get these things for like 6,400 Zen. Now, there is also this really cool 50% off Tier 6 ship coupon that you get as well with this bundle. And you get to spend that coupon on another Tier 6 ship and get 50% off that ship. Wow. That's new. Fleet versions of each of these starships will unlock upon completing your Fleet Star Base's Tier 2 shipyard. The standard fleet module discounts apply if you have purchased the ships from the C-Store. For the first time ever, and this is a big news, for the first time ever, non-Romulan characters will be able to fly the Warbird included in this bundle. That's right, non-Romulan characters can fly the Warbird. Yeah, what? Similarly, non-Dominion characters will be able to fly the Vanguard Warship in this bundle right away. No Tier 6 mastery involved. That's right. So you can fly the Romulan ship and you can fly the Jem'Hadar ship. Additionally, the traits and consoles from these ships adjust slightly to theme your faction. All starships come with the same console, but the passive boost will change which energy type it boosts. For Starship Traits, both the name and the damage type affected will change. In both cases, Dominion captains will be getting a boost to Polaron weaponry, Romulan captains to plasma, Klingons to disruptors, and Starfleet to phasers, as fits their signature weapons. These starships all have a commander rank temporal operative bridge officer seat and are considered primary specialization starships of the temporal operative type. As a result, they all come with the molecular reconstruction set of starship abilities. So these are temporal ships. So all temporal ships always come with the molecular reconstruction ability. All temporal ships. So this has not a new mechanic, this reconstruction mechanic. This is not new. All past temporal ships have this ability as well, but we'll just briefly go over it. Temporal starships are capable of making subtle alterations on the molecular level through the use of molecular reconstruction. This technology allows the starship to assume one of 3 different configurations: defensive, offensive, and support. Additionally, the player may choose to have no active configuration. Each configuration has its own strengths and weaknesses. Each of the configurations generates their own specific counter. A ship may have up to 6 configuration counters at a time. After reaching 6 counters, any additionally generated ones will be lost. These counters are used to fuel your molecular deconstruction beam. So this is an additional weapon on the on the ship. This is an additional weapon on the ship that does not take up a slot, is what I was trying to say. So you don't have to have a weapon slot for this ability. This is just a native part of temporal ships. It's an extra ability. But beyond that, you also have these configuration modes you can put the ship into. You can put it into a defensive configuration, where the systems will dynamically reconfigure to fill more of a defensive role. It provides a boost to maximum shield power and incoming hull healing. Comes at a cost of reduction to flight speed and turn rate. Then you have the offensive configuration. Will reconfigure to fill more of an offensive role. This provides a boost to engine power, speed, and turn rate, but it comes at a cost of small reduction of incoming hull healing. And then you've got the support configuration. This will dynamically reconfigure to fill more of a support role. This provides a boost to auxiliary power, control expertise, and exotic damage. And this comes at a cost to a small reduction of energy weapon damage. The molecular deconstruction beam. Activating this ability requires a total of 6 counters generated once you enable one of those configuration modes. Molecular deconstruction beam deals physical damage over time and disables the target, in addition to healing your hull over time. This powers damage scales with the number of offensive counters consumed. Its hull healing scales with the number of defensive counters consumed. Lastly, its disable duration scales with the number of support counters consumed. Activating this ability will consume all offense, defense, and support counters generated from configurations. So basically, it is a method to do physical damage to a ship. And in turn, it can buff you in some way depending on which configuration mode counters are active in it. And you can just do one configuration mode. You don't have to do all 3. Just leave it on one if you want and just get all the benefits from that one mode. So all temporal ships have it, but these ships here also have this ability because they're temporal ships. So here's the first one, the Edison Temporal Warship. This is the next step forward in Allied ship design. Threats to the galaxy continue to amass, demanding ever vigilant answers. The Edison class is Starfleet's answer to these threats. An update to a more tactically minded vessel from Starfleet's past, the Edison is ready with superior firepower to stave off threats to Starfleet or those they've sworn to protect. So another ship that harkens back to the Discovery era. So more Discovery era at its heart, more Discovery era content. Tier 6, faction, Starfleet, and Starfleet allies must complete the tutorial. Remember, because it's a Tier 6 ship, it's scaling. All Tier 6 ships scale. The hull modifier is 0.9, shield modifier 1.15, 4 weapons 5, aft weapons 3. Has a lieutenant tactical / temporal operative, a commander tactical / temporal operative, lieutenant engineering, lieutenant commander science, and lieutenant universal. 5 tactical slots, 3 science, and 2 engineering. A base turn rate of 14. It can equip cannons, plus 10 to weapon power, engine power, and aux power. Plus 10 to weapon, but plus 5 to engine and aux. It has a universal console called Entangled Quantum Bombardment. It has the molecular reconstruction. It's got a mastery package called Precise Weapon Systems, Enhanced Weapon Banks, Devastating Weaponry, Enhanced Weapon Systems, and then depending on your faction, the trait will be a little different. For the Federation, you've got Heart of Soul. For Romulans, you've got Pride of Mulrihan. And for Dominion, you have Persistence of the Founders. Here's the Klingon version of the ship. The Charg Temporal Warship represents the Klingon Empire's next step forward in Allied ship design. Threats to the galaxy continue to amass, demanding ever better answers. The Charg class is the Klingon answer to these threats. An update of a warship from Conquest Pass, this starship is ready to decloak and unleash a devastating barrage of firepower on any threats, past, present, or future, to the Klingon Empire. Now, out of all the ships, this is the one I really have the problem with because it's based on that Discovery-era Klingon design that just makes no sense. It just doesn't. During that time of discovery, we should have the TOS Klingon ship design. This is totally out of the blue, totally something that the Discovery show created, and it just doesn't look Klingon. But that's what this new ship is based off of, so it is what it is. Pretty much everything's the same. Hull modifier, well, some things, I guess it's a little bit different. Hull modifier is 0.95, so it's slightly different, I guess. Shield modifier 1.1, 5.4, 3 aft. Same stations, though. Lieutenant Tactical, Temporal Operative, Commander Tactical, Temporal Operative, Lieutenant Engineering, Lieutenant Commander Science, Lieutenant Universal, 5 Tactical, 3 Science, 2 Engineering, 14 turn rate, plus 10 weapon, plus 5 power, plus 5 aux. So what was the whole modifier is 0.95 and shield is 1.1. Is that what this was? Yeah, it's just slightly different than the Edison on the hull and shield modifier, but that's not big. Otherwise, it can load cannons. It's got the same stuff, basically. I don't know why the hull or shield would be a little different, but it is. Otherwise, it's exactly the same, except this one has the Legacy of Kronos Starship trait on it. Now you got the Romulan one, the Collier Temporal Warbird. This one's a little funky looking to me. I get the idea of it, but I think it's a little thick. Especially when you look at the Edison and how like thin it is, because it's a saucer. It's a real thin ship, and the nacelles on it are so thin. But then when I look at this Romulan one, it's thick. I don't know. It's kind of thick and stubby. Not quite sure that I'm feeling the visuals on the Romulan one. The Collier Temporal Warbird represents the Romulan Republic's next step forward in Allied ship design. Threats to the galaxy continue to amass. Yeah. Same old stuff. New stuff here. We got 0.9 hull and 1.15 shield modifier, 5.4, 3 aft, same stations, 5 tactical, 3 science, 2 engineering, 14 turn rate, same weapon power, same console. Of course, you have Romulan battle cloak on this one. And you have the Romulan singularity powers on this one, in addition to the Starship Mastery package. And this has the Pride of Molrihan. Then you come to the Jem'Hadar ship, and it looks just like any other Jem'Hadar ship, just pudgier, shorter. It's more like a pudgy, it's just a short, pudgy, Jem'Hadar ship. Not really much thought into a different kind of design. It's pretty much the same old, which I'm a little, I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe they should have gone with something a little more different for the Jem'Hadar. I don't know. The Jem'Hadar Temporal Vanguard Warship represents the Dominion's next step forward in Allied blah blah blah. Same thing. Now this has a hull modifier of 0.75, so that's lower than the other ships. But a shield modifier is higher at 1.2, just slightly higher though, not a whole lot. It's really weird that the Jem'Hadar ship has the lower hull strength. I'll tell you why, because the Jem'Hadar, the Dominion, I should say, are supposed to be a little more advanced than the Federation in ship design. Like, their ships are tougher. That's the whole idea of the Dominion War. Their ships were just a little more advanced. They were tougher, right? It seems to me that this should have a higher hull modifier than the other two ships, not a lower one. So I don't know, that's weird. To me, anyway. 5.4 weapons, 3 aft, same setup. And this has the Persistence of the Founders trait. Okay. Now there's kind of a screenshot of what the console looks like when it's firing. And I'm going to do a video after this where we go in and play or preview this ship, the Edison, and I will show you what the console looks like. But that's kind of what it looks like there. When you activate the console, your ship will launch quantum-laced projectiles at foes in front for several seconds. These projectiles entangle their quantum signature with particles inside of your foe's shields, allowing them to bypass shielding entirely and explode in a large area with each impact. This console also provides a passive boost of phaser, plasma polaron, or disruptor based on your faction, and Starship exotic particle generator. So this is basically, and what you're going to see is that this is a weapon that does like radiation damage, but it can bypass shields, and it's a really cool looking device. I already tried it out once for the video, so I could see what it looks like, and it is pretty cool. But I'm going to show that in the video. So here's what the Starship Traits do. So if you are, Federation here, when activating attack pattern beta or any temporal operative buff ability, you will gain a boost to energy weapon haste and directed energy phaser weapon damage. That's Heart of Soul. Then you got Legacy of Chronos. When activating those same abilities, same thing, energy weapon haste and disruptor damage. And then Pride of Molrihan, basically the same thing, except now it's plasma weapon damage. And then Persistence of the Founders is the same thing, except it's Polaron. So they all do the same thing. It's just that the energy type that they buff is different based on your faction. That's it. So just be sure you match up the energy. If you want to make the best of the Starship trait, if you want to make the best of it, match up your energy type with it. You're going to use Polaron on the Dominion. You're going to use Disruptor on KDF. You're going to use Plasma on Romulan, and you're going to use Phaser on Federation. That's how you're going to get the most out of it. Now, fleet ship variants. We have fleet versions of these ships as well. I'm not going to go into all about how you get them, but yeah, basically the only real difference is you're going to have a higher hull modifier, so 0.99 on the Edison, and it is a shield modifier of 1.265, also higher. And then you'll probably gain a console, and it looks like we're going to gain a science console. So we're going to have 5 tactical, 4 science, and 2 engineering instead of 3 science. See, these had 3 science. So you're gaining a science console. You're gaining a higher hull modifier, higher shield modifier, and then an extra science console. And that's probably going to be the same on all the ships. Yeah, this one has a hull modifier of 1.045, a shield modifier of 1.21. That's a very high hull modifier. This is 0.99, 1.265. And then the Jem'Hadar is 0.825 and 1.32. It has the highest shield modifier, but I think it should have the highest hull modifier, to be honest with you. But pretty much, remember, the fleet ships do not come with the console. Only the C-Store version does. So if you want the best of both worlds, you buy the C-Store version and the fleet version. And then you put the C-Store version's console on the fleet version's ship. And also unlock the mastery on the 5th Starship mastery on the C-Store version ship, and then you can apply it on the fleet version ship. But you have to have both to do that. So that's pretty much it. That is a bundle of ships that we're getting. Yeah, I'm actually really interested in the Federation one here, the Edison. At this point of recording, I have already equipped the Edison. I did a real quick equipping job of it. I just slapped it on and put whatever I had on there. And I'm going to make a preview video that just previews the ship. Simple as that. Just keep in mind that that build is nowhere near finished. I just slapped it together so I could do the preview. And I think there will be a lot of room for improvement. But I think it's going to be pretty good. I've already taken it into battle once. I did a Starbase 1 battle with it, and I liked what I saw. And that prompted me to make the preview video that I'm about to make. So that's the deal. Check that video out. It'll be up after this video. And you can see what the Edison is like, a preview of it. And in time, I will review all the ships. But that's pretty much the big news here, is the new Temporal Warship bundle out of the blue. Had no idea it was coming. Really didn't expect a new ship bundle right now, but there it is. I don't know why. It's not really attached to anything. If it were me, I might have waited until like a season update. That way we get more stuff in a season update. But just out of the blue, it's not as exciting if it's just out of the blue like this, not attached to anything and just on its own. It's not as exciting. But I do like the ship here that they've given us. So I'm interested to try it out and make that video. So there you go. That's it. That is what's new. That's pretty much all there is to post right now. The summer event is still the happening thing right now. So these ships and the summer event, that's the big thing going on in Star Trek Online right now at the moment. This summer in July of 2019. I don't know what's coming this fall, but I'm hoping for more. But again, it does look like we got a bit of a Discovery era style ship. So, you know, that's fine for now, but eventually I hope they give us more. I hope they give us more of a variety. You know, I don't mind Discovery stuff every now and then, but a constant year or two of it would get very annoying. That's all I'm saying. Okay, thank you all for watching this video, and let me know what you think about these ship bundles below in the comments. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. Check out Twitter at Brent_Justice for updates. You can follow me there. Also, check out my Patreon page, patreon.com/Brent Justice. This helps support the channel and also allows me to publish more and more videos.